So I do just want to start, go back kind of the beginning, because you were one of GMC's longest serving employees. So how did you get your start here?
The first year or so, it was just doing what I was told to do, you know, and then Flippo would help me learn things, but it was not a lot of teaching in the early goings. It was like, I got to have this done. Bobby, show him how to do it, Flippo, and I just did it. But then we got into some treatment plant work, and that really, really interested me. I mean, I just really enjoyed drawing boxes and squares and how they all connected and what they did. And so I kept pleading with Mr. Mills a little bit, you know, show me one of these things. Let me see what it does. I can't tell you how many times he would drop me off at a plant. We would leave at 5 o'clock in the morning. He would drop me off at a plant in, say, Loxley, Alabama, 3 hours away, and say, okay, James is the operator here. He's got some problems. He's going to tell you what's wrong, and you and him figure out what you're going to have to do to fix it, and I'll tell you when he'll pick you up this afternoon. He'd just leave me there with the operator all day long, you know. I'd have to clean pumps and all this other stuff because the operators would say, a dang engineer put this stuff in and he doesn't know how to operate it and doesn't know how to clean it, and this is what you have to do every day to do this stuff that y'all put in. So it helped me learn what not to do in a lot of ways, you know. So I learned on the job a lot, which I was very fortunate for. Mr. Mills gave me that opportunity. And then the more I got into it, the more he would challenge me and teach me as long as, then I just became a sponge trying to soak up everything he was throwing at me to keep from drowning.
Being at GMC now 12 years, but when I first got here, like, you were like the water, wastewater, municipal guy.
Yeah.
And so it's really interesting hearing how you learned that.
Yeah.
And seeing kind of how you continue to mentor people in that same way, but really coming from not knowing it at all.
I wouldn't be anywhere I am without Don Mills and Steve K, would be honest with you, because they taught me everything. I mean, I do not have a college education. I got a lot of continuing education stuff from AUM and John Patterson, all that stuff coming through, surveying, and, you know, learned all that on my own. But them teaching me is what made me be the technical leader in treatment plants.
So the client thing, I want to talk about that, because when you retired, and we put together this video with some different people talking about working with you over the years, from people within GMC, but then you had like grown men in tears talking about working with you, which, like, I think all of us that, you know, watched it made us tear up too. But you have a way of connecting with people. What was your approach to working with those clients? Like, how did you build those relationships? I know, you know, it took time, but
yeah, it takes time. You have to invest in the client. You can't go once a month or once every 6 weeks and get to know anybody. So made an extra effort to go and be in front of them a lot more than normal, you know, as much as my time would allow me to be, and be personal with them. You know, it just, I'd get invited to their house for steak dinner sometimes when I was there visiting, and became really close friends with a lot of them, you know. And you get close friends with clients, they don't want to talk about work. They want to talk about their lives. And so you get to know them. You know how many children they have, what their interests are, and just, you become a person to them, you know? So,
you know, with talking about like technical excellence, and you've talked a lot about, like, you know, being in these plants and learning, but what was your approach to, like, learning everything that you could? How does someone, like, what advice would you give to someone to become technically excellent?
Steve Kaywood always told me that I worked with a chip on my shoulder all the time, you know? I worked like I had a chip on my shoulder, and I think I did, because I didn't have that document on the wall that said I was a professional, and I didn't have PE behind my name. So I worked extra hard because of that, you know, and I wanted my clients to know that I knew what I was talking about, and I wasn't just BSing my way through a meeting. So I learned, I listened, I went to plants, I went to factories, and learn what their equipment did and how they did it, you know. You have to take advantage of the opportunities that are given to you, you know. And I was given an awful lot of opportunities by Goodwin Mills and Kaywood, you know, a lot. I'm so appreciative of that, and I wouldn't be here today talking to you if it weren't for those opportunities and people here, Mr. Goodwin, Mr. Mills, and Mr. Kaywood, believing in me.
There are so many of us that really admire you and everything that you stand for, and could not think of anyone more deserving, you know, than you and Chris for this award.
Thank you. I love you and I love everybody here. You know, just my second family.
Always.
Thank you much.
Thank you.